Yo, what is up guys? Today we're going to decide whether it's better to catch a train or ride my motorcycle into work. I'm going to give both a go and see which one I like best based on the following 5 factors: time, cost, comfort and practicality, safety, and fun factor. Let's get to it. There is no doubt a motorcycle will get me to office faster than a car would. I can lane filter. I can park on the footpath right outside the front door. How do these pros stack up against the benefits offered by our rail system?
And we're out on the bike. Not a bad start. So I geared up at 7:46 and I left the house at 7:55. But I will say, it wasn't the gearing up that took its time. It was setting up my cameras, my microphones, all of that crap. The stuff that you don't have to worry about unless you're making a video on YouTube. I don't think it's fair to say that gearing up actually took 9 minutes. It's closer to 5, I'd say. Anyways, we're at the office. Let's get a time check and we'll leave it there, shall we?
Taking the motorbike consisted of 5 minutes of gearing up and 31 minutes of riding into office. That amounts to a total of 36 minutes. Taking the train consisted of 10 minutes of walking, 4 minutes of waiting for the train, and 34 minutes of actually riding the train, which equates to a total of 48 minutes. Therefore, it took me 12 extra minutes to get into office when catching the train instead of riding my bike. That is a 33% increase in travel time, which is a huge margin considering this is a commute I undertake regularly. The clear winner here is motorcycle. Moving on to cost. Let's start with the motorbike. So I daily my Ninja 400, which averages around 4 litres per 100 kilometers or 25 kilometers per litre. Factoring in current fuel prices for unleaded 91, that comes out to about $1.30 each way. I'll add another $1.30 per commute for maintenance and consumables, but it's hard to get a precise figure as I use this bike for other commutes and recreational rides. I'm not including rego and insurance, as those are flat rates that I would be paying even if I didn't use the Ninja for my morning commute to work. So all in all, it comes out to about $2.60, and that's being generous with the consumables and maintenance calculations. Now, of course, this cost would be higher if I end up blowing an engine or crashing my bike on the way to work. The real kicker here is parking. In Melbourne, us motorcyclists pretty much get free parking wherever we go. If I was in a car, I would be paying at least $20 per day just to park in the CBD, but I'm not. Moving on to the train. Taking the train costs me $5.30 each way. $10.60 per day. The motorcycle is again the clear winner. Now we move on to something a little less flattering for the case of 2 wheels: comfort and practicality. Let's start with the motorbike. My bike takes me door to door with no extra walking. I literally get on my bike and ride, park up on the footpath outside the front door of my office. I love a good walk every now and again, but in the mornings I just can't be bothered when the first thing on my mind is getting to work on time. Another comfortable aspect about riding a bike is you are free of the human mosh pit you find on trains during peak hour. After COVID, I've become hyper aware of my physical proximity to others. I will say, hybrid working means that trains are way less packed these days, but I still do thoroughly enjoy having my personal space on the bike. Moving on to the train. Firstly, there's no gearing up required. I can wear whatever I want. Riding jeans may look casual, but they are not actually that comfy to wear day in, day out. Secondly, I'm shielded from the elements. Whereas if I'm on the bike, in winter I am cold and I'm wet. In summer, I'll sometimes arrive at the office sweating through my t-shirt before the day has even begun. When I take the train instead of the bike, I can also partake in after-work drinks, which is not an option if I take the bike because I refuse to have any alcohol in my system if I'm going to be riding. Overall, taking the train is just an extremely relaxing experience compared to taking the bike. I walked over to the station at a leisurely pace, I waited a couple of minutes, I sat on the train, scrolled TikTok, and then I leisurely strolled over to my office and started my day. If I wanted to, I could have sipped a coffee along the way. On the motorbike, I am on high alert the whole time. There is just no chill at all. I'm covered head to toe in protective gear. I'm getting battered by whatever weather Melbourne decides to give me that morning, and my mind is working overtime to keep me safe in a minefield of peak hour drivers. And then when I get to office, I have to gear down, and my hair is an absolute mess when I take my helmet off, and that's how it stays for the rest of the day. I think it's pretty obvious which one takes the win in this category: the train. Moving on to safety. Those of you who have followed me for a while will know just how important safety is to me and how much of an emphasis I place upon it here on this channel. So this one is also going to be a little rougher for the case of two wheels. Let's start with the motorbike. Firstly, if I'm on a motorcycle, I'm much less likely to get shanked and robbed by a group of eshays. The chances of this occurring during peak hour on a train in Melbourne is already pretty slim, but it's even lower if you're on a motorcycle riding through Melbourne's peak hour traffic instead. Secondly, you're less likely to catch an airborne disease from that one guy who insists on going into office despite being as sick as a dog. Unfortunately for us motorcycle enthusiasts, the train is just safer. I dug into the Transport Accident Commission site to find some data regarding Victorian motor vehicle accidents. Over the last 5 years, there have been an average of 233 motor vehicle fatalities per year. Of these 233 deaths, around 40 of them have been motorcyclists and/or their pillions. Motorcyclists account for just 1% of the total kilometres travelled here in Victoria, yet they represent 17% of the fatalities. And that's not to mention the number of motorcyclists who've survived but experienced life-changing injuries. The road just statistically is not a great place for us motorcyclists. We're better off tucked away in the safety of a train carriage. So the clear winner in this category is train. Moving on to our last category, fun. On a train, you can doom scroll, watch videos, play games, get some work done even, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to pass time on the commute. When I commute on a motorcycle, it gives me something to look forward to both before and after the event. The motorcycle ride actually becomes part of that event for me, and it is not just a means of getting from A to B. Usually, I see commuting as an inconvenience, but when I'm on the bike, it becomes a whole different experience of its own. And that is something I still experience after all of these years. The winner of this category is quite clearly the motorcycle. So, is it better to ride into work, or is it better to catch a train for my morning commute? Honestly, I can't pick one as the clear winner. And truth be told, I don't have to. I'm keen to take the train into work a little more. And that's because the categories of safety and comfort and practicality are important to me. I'm not going to stop taking the motorcycle into work, and that's because the categories of time saving, cost saving, and fun are also important to me. So I reckon I'm just going to enjoy the best of both worlds here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will catch you on the next one.
You say you got them guns, but I've never seen you bang. You say you got them drugs, but I've never seen you slang.